I'm Lily, and I made one mistake. I thought introducing my mom to my fiancé would be a normal, awkward dinner like everyone else has. Marcus, this is my mom, Diane, I said, opening the door to let her into our apartment. She stood there in this worn cardigan, clutching her purse. Oh, Lily, your place is so beautiful. I didn't know if I should even come. Marcus stepped forward. Mrs. Brennan, please, come in. We've been looking forward to this. Call me Diane, sweetheart. Lily didn't tell me how handsome you are. She never tells me anything anymore. Mom, I literally called you last week to set this up. Did you? My memory isn't what it used to be since the accident. She touched her temple delicately. Marcus looked concerned. What accident? Just a little fall last year. Lily probably didn't mention it because she's so independent now. I don't want to be a burden. I felt my jaw tighten. There was no accident. Mom, let's sit down. Dinner's almost ready. Throughout the meal, Diane barely ate, pushing food around her plate. This chicken is wonderful, Marcus. Did you make this? She asked. Actually, Lily did. She's been taking cooking classes. Really? That's new. She never cooked growing up. I did everything for her. Diane smiled sadly. But I'm glad she's learning. We both cook, I said flatly. Of course, honey. I didn't mean anything by it. She turned to Marcus. She gets defensive sometimes. I think it's because she feels guilty about moving out. But I tell her all the time I'm fine alone, even if the apartment gets cold and I can't afford to fix the heating. Marcus frowned. Your heating doesn't work? I have blankets. Mom, you called me 2 months ago complaining it was too hot. She laughed lightly. Did I? Maybe I'm more forgetful than I thought. The doctor said stress can do that, but I don't want to worry you with my problems. After she left, Marcus was quiet while we cleaned up. She seems sweet, he finally said. A little lonely. That's her specialty. What do you mean? She does this, Marcus. The whole helpless act. She's not broke, she's not sick, and she's definitely not alone. Maybe she just wants to connect with you. She seemed really hurt that you don't call more. I call her every week. She doesn't answer half the time because she's out at the casino. The casino? Marcus looked skeptical. She said she barely leaves the house. She says a lot of things. He put the dish down. I know some people have complicated relationships with their parents, but she seemed genuinely sad tonight. Maybe you could cut her some slack. You've known her for 3 hours. And in those 3 hours, she was nothing but kind, even when you snapped at her. I didn't snap at her. You were pretty cold. Maybe family therapy could help you two work through whatever this is. She's manipulative. Or maybe you're being unfair. He left the kitchen. I stood there alone, knowing exactly what was happening. My Aunt Vera had warned me about this years ago when I finally moved out. Your mother doesn't want you to be independent, Vera had said. She wants you to need her, and if she can't have that, she'll make everyone else think you're the problem. 2 weeks later, Diane started showing up. She knocked on our door on a Tuesday morning. Hi, honey. I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd bring you some groceries. We're fine, Mom. We don't need groceries. Well, I already bought them. She walked past me into the apartment. Is Marcus home? Marcus came out of the bedroom. Diane, hi. You didn't have to do this. It's nothing. Just some basics. She started unpacking onto our counter. Things I always kept around for Lily when she was growing up, though she probably doesn't remember. She was always so focused on leaving. Mom, I left for college like every other kid. Of course you did. I'm proud of you, even if you only came home twice a year. Marcus glanced at me. Lily, maybe your mom could stay for coffee? I don't want to impose, Diane said quickly. We don't have plans. Stay. She stayed for 3 hours, telling Marcus about my childhood, carefully editing every story to make herself the selfless single mother. My ex-husband left when Lily was 8, never sent a penny. I worked double shifts to keep us afloat, but Lily doesn't remember that part. I remember you bringing men home every weekend and spending your paychecks at the bar, I said. Diane's face crumpled. Is that really how you see me? After everything I sacrificed? She stood up, gathering her purse. I should go. I'm sorry, Marcus. I didn't mean to cause tension. Marcus walked her to the door. Don't apologize. Come back any time. After she left, he turned to me. That was cruel. It was honest. She raised you alone. She raised me because my dad couldn't stand being around her, and my Aunt Vera paid most of our bills. That's not what she said. Of course it isn't. Marcus's best friend Owen came over that Friday. Diane called halfway through game night. Lily, I hate to bother you, but I'm at the emergency room. My stomach dropped. What happened? I fell again. The doctor wants to keep me overnight, but I don't have anyone to bring me some things from home. I'll come. No, you're busy. Marcus grabbed the phone. Diane, we'll be there in 20 minutes. Which hospital? At the hospital, she was sitting up in bed, looking small and frail. Her arm was bandaged. I'm so sorry to drag you both here, she said. The railing's been loose for months, but the landlord won't fix it. What stairs? I asked. Your apartment is on the ground floor. She looked confused. To get to the mailboxes. Mom, what really happened? Her eyes filled with tears. Why would you ask me that? Do you think I'd hurt myself on purpose just to... She stopped. You know what? Forget it. You clearly don't want to be here. Owen stepped forward. Mrs. Brennan, we're glad you called. You shouldn't be alone right now. She smiled weakly at him. Thank you, sweetheart. At least someone cares. The nurse came in with discharge papers. All right, Ms. Brennan, you're good to go. Just keep that wrist wrapped. And like I mentioned, maybe switch to decaf. 4 energy drinks in one afternoon probably contributed to the dizzy spell. Diane's face went blank for a second. Yes, thank you. In the parking lot, I turned to Marcus. Energy drinks, not a fall. A dizzy spell from caffeine. She's embarrassed. People downplay things when they're embarrassed. She lied. Or she was confused. She just hit her head. Owen nodded. Honestly, Lily, you're being kind of harsh. Your mom's clearly struggling. You've known her for 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, she's been nothing but sweet while you've been nothing but hostile, Owen said. Maybe that's the real problem. I looked between them and realized I'd already lost. Diane called Marcus directly after that. He'd give her money without telling me. I'd find out when checking our joint account. $200 to your mom? I confronted him. For what? Her heating bill. She asked me not to tell you because she knew you'd say no. Because it's a lie! She doesn't need money, Marcus. She gets disability from that job injury 5 years ago, and her apartment's rent controlled. She said the disability payments stopped. They didn't. I saw the deposit in her account last month, when she asked me to help her with online banking. Maybe you saw an old statement. Marcus, call Vera, please. She'll tell you the truth about my mom. Your aunt, who you claim paid for everything? She's obviously biased. The irreversible moment came 3 weeks later. Marcus came home early. I need to tell you something. His face was serious. My heart started racing. I've been talking to your mom a lot lately. About us, about our future. And she helped me realize something important. What? I think we should postpone the wedding. The room tilted. What? Not cancel, just postpone. Your mom pointed out that you have a lot of unresolved anger, and she thinks you need therapy before we get married. She's worried you'll push me away the same way you pushed her away. She said that. She cares about you, Lily. She cares about us. She doesn't want to see our marriage fail because you can't deal with your abandonment issues. My abandonment issues. From your dad leaving. She explained how it affected you, how you've never trusted anyone since then, how you blame her for things that weren't her fault. She even offered to pay for your therapy herself, even though she can barely afford groceries. I felt something break inside me. Get out. What? Get out of this apartment, right now. Lily, don't do this. Don't prove her right. She's not right. She's a liar. She's manipulative. And you chose her over me. I'm choosing us. I'm trying to help us. By listening to a woman you've known for 5 weeks instead of your fiancé? Get out, Marcus. He left. He actually left. I called Vera. She did exactly what I was afraid of, Vera said. She couldn't control you, so she's controlling him. He believes every word she says. Then you need to show him the truth, but not by arguing, by letting him see her without you in the way. What do you mean? Your mother thrives on having an audience for her victim act. Without you there to play the villain, she'll eventually slip up. People like her always do. I moved out the next day, staying with Vera. Marcus texted asking me to reconsider. Your mom wants to meet with both of us, his message said. She thinks we can work through this together. Tell her I'll meet with her, alone, tomorrow at noon, the coffee shop on Belmont. I had one shot at this. Vera spent the entire evening gathering everything. Bank statements Diane had left at her house years ago, medical records, text messages where my mother had bragged about manipulating Marcus. Everything documented, everything dated, everything real. She won't admit anything unless she's cornered, Vera said. And even then she'll probably just run. I don't need her to admit it. I just need Marcus to see who she really is. Then let's make sure he does. Diane arrived 10 minutes late, looking concerned. Lily, honey, I'm so glad you agreed to talk. Marcus is devastated about the separation. Separation? We broke up. Did you? He told me you just needed space. He still loves you. You told him to postpone our wedding. I suggested couples therapy before the wedding. There's a difference. She reached across the table. Sweetheart, I only want what's best for you both. I can see you're hurting, and I know I'm part of that hurt. If my presence in your life is causing problems, I'll step back. You will? Of course. You're more important than my pride. I'll tell Marcus I was wrong, that I should have stayed out of it. She sounded so sincere. For 1 second, I almost believed her. Then Vera walked in and sat down next to me. Diane's face changed, just for a flash. Vera, what are you doing here? Supporting my niece, the way you never did. I don't know what lies Lily's told you. No lies, just facts. Vera pulled out her phone. Like the fact that your disability payments never stopped. Or that you've been spending $300 a week at the casino while telling Marcus you can't afford heat. Or that the hospital visit was from a caffeine overdose, not a fall. That's absurd. The records don't lie. Neither do the screenshots of you bragging to your friends about having Marcus wrapped around your finger. Diane stood up. I'm not listening to this. You don't have to, but Marcus will. Owen will. I sent them everything 20 minutes ago. Diane's phone started buzzing. She looked at it, then at me. You vindictive little... Don't, I said quietly. Don't make it worse. She grabbed her purse and left without another word. Marcus showed up at Vera's house that evening. I'm sorry. For what specifically? For not believing you. For letting her manipulate me. For postponing our wedding because a stranger told me to. What did my mom say when you confronted her? She said you and Vera fabricated everything. Then she said if I loved her like a son, I'd believe her over you. When I said I didn't, she told me I was dead to her. No apology? Not even close. He took my hand. I know I don't deserve another chance, but I'm asking anyway. We start from where we are now, with the truth. And you block my mother completely. Already done. 6 months later, Owen saw Diane at a restaurant with a new boyfriend, telling him the same stories about her ungrateful daughter. Marcus and I got married 4 months after that. Small ceremony, no drama. Diane sent a card saying she forgave me. I threw it away. She still posts about me sometimes. Poor Diane, abandoned by her only child. Most people don't believe her anymore. Vera told me last week that Diane's boyfriend left after discovering she'd stolen from his wallet. She's apparently looking for a new apartment after getting evicted for unpaid rent and property damage. Marcus brought it up at dinner. Do you think she'll ever actually change? No, because changing would mean admitting she was wrong. And people like my mom would rather lose everything than admit that. Her new boyfriend dodged a bullet. You didn't dodge it. You took it and survived. We sat there in our apartment. Diane doesn't know where we live now. Marcus looked at me. Do you think you'll ever regret cutting her out completely? I set down my fork. If your own parents spent months trying to destroy your relationship just to maintain control over you, and you watch them successfully turn the person you love against you even temporarily, would you ever trust them in your life again? Or would you finally accept that some people love the chaos more than they love you?